History. Moments frozen in time. Triumphs that echo through the ages. Memories witnessed by many.
And here in crunch time, he makes it!
Experienced by a chosen few.
Clock is running out. If it goes, you win it!
For Anadolu Efes Istanbul and Real Madrid, it's time to write the future.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Watchalong, where you get to watch the EuroLeague game of the week. I'm your host, Anthony Goods, representing Swish Cultures. And yes, indeed, this is the final watch-along of the season. But it's no time to get emotional. I want to see no sad faces in the comments today because we got a championship game. And because we got a championship game, I am joined by not one, but two champions here. We got Alec Peters, who won a championship with CSKA, and we got Mr. EuroLeague legend himself, Mike Batiste, who's a three-time champion in his own right. So please give a nice EuroLeague welcome to these two gentlemen. Gentlemen, how we doing today?
Oh, I'm doing good, man. Blessed to be here, man, and see who's about to be crowned the 2022 EuroLeague champion.
Yeah, thank you for having me again, Anthony. This was a pleasure to be on it the first time, and to be on it the second time along with a guy like Mike Batiste is everything. It's everything for me. Everything for me that I could have asked for.
Hey, Alec, you back by popular demand, baby. The fans wanted it, you know what I'm saying? And I've been trying to get Mike all season, man. I've been trying to track him down, man. He a tough cookie, man. But you know, I'm blessed to be here with you guys, man, and I'm definitely looking excited for this. So please let me get a couple minutes to catch the fans up on all the EuroLeague action, and fans back home, please leave your predictions, comments. You got questions for these two gentlemen, leave them in the comment section on YouTube. I'll get to them as I can. If you guys want to watch this game, you guys can head over to EuroLeague TV, EuroLeague.tv. We got a promo code for 20% off your Final Four pass. That promo code is the letter F and then the numbers 420. So that is F420. And for the finals, you could also purchase individual games as well if you just wanted to watch a particular team. But to catch everybody up, in semifinal A, we saw Real Madrid upset the favorite Barcelona, and I was a little touched by this. I had Barcelona winning it all this year, but Real Madrid had other plans, and they were able to win the game 83-86. It was a very tough game, but Real Madrid kind of took over in the third quarter and didn't really look back, man. It's just a little too much size, a little too much power, and Barcelona came up a little short. In the other semifinal game, we saw Anadolu Efes stun Olympiacos with a buzzer beater, and by no other than Vasily Micic. You know, he's playing in his backyard, and when you're in your backyard, shots tend to fall when you want them to, and that's exactly what happened at the end of that game. And as we see here, after he made that final shot to give them the edge on that switch, I still don't know why they didn't trap and get the ball out of his hands, but shoulda, woulda, coulda. This is how it ended, and Efes is back in the championship game. But and earlier today in the third place game, Barcelona was able to come away with a much better effort, winning by 10 points over Olympiacos, 84-74. Nikola Mirotic at 19, and Nick Calathes doing what Calathes does with his 13 assists. But here we are, and it's a championship Saturday, and man, it's exciting, man. So we're gonna start off with the vet here, Mike. Man, what's your first memory that comes to mind, man, when you hear EuroLeague final, man? What's the first memory that comes to mind?
Man, my first EuroLeague moment is making it in 2005. It was in Moscow. It was my first experience, and I was just taken aback about the atmosphere. The Maccabi fans at that point really showed a different level of energy and why fans are so passionate. That's always my first memory, because this is the biggest platform you can put European basketball on. And, as you already saw, the fans of Olympiacos made a great atmosphere out in Belgrade, and that's what it's about.
For sure, man. Alec, what's your first memory, man? Just thinking back to the championship that you won.
I just remember looking around with wide eyes and overwhelmed with absolutely anything and everything that came to my senses, with the sounds, the sights, everything. I mean, I'd never seen anything like it. I still have yet. I mean, only being there one time, one Final Four, one championship, being there one time, I still have not, probably won't experiencing anything like it until I get back, hopefully again soon. But I just remember being so taken back by just the overall atmosphere, the passion, and like the gravity of the situation, knowing that it was one game. That was it. That was it. The Final Four, and we see it. What an exciting weekend that creates. We saw it the last two games 2 days ago with the semifinals. Third place game was competitive again today, and then here you have a championship game. Just the quality and the gravity it presents when you have a Final Four like this it's unlike anything else.
Yeah, for sure, man. It definitely looks like an electric, experience, and I know the fans and everybody is super hyped for this game. We got fans in the YouTube comments, man, flooded with Efes fans right now. I'm waiting to see this EuroLeague poll, man. They did a poll during the semifinal games, man, and like one poll was 77% thought Olympiacos was gonna win, and obviously they did it. And then in the other poll, it was like 75% thought Barcelona was going to win, and then they didn't. So, if that trend holds up today, man, I'll be interested to see what the fans are thinking. So please let us know who you guys are going for as this game is getting ready to get underway here, man. But I'm excited, man, as the starting fives are in, as we can see on the screen, man. What matchups are you guys looking forward to? And we start with you, Alex. Who do you think is going to be an X factor in this game?
I think you got to look right away at I think you look past the guards and you go straight to the four-man matchup between Mormon and Yabusele. Madrid made it such a key point early on in their last game to get Yabusele going. And I think if Mormon can do his job in containing, and not necessarily stopping, but just containing what he can do, then I think Madrid might have a little bit of a tougher time, because you see they're not guard heavy. This is traditionally a Final Four that's won with the best guards. That's in the past, the teams that win are the teams with the best guards. And so Madrid being here, and if they're able to do it, if they're able to win it by dominating the paint, first team in rebounds, first team in blocks, paint dominant team, size dominant team, if they can do that, then you're going to see a total, shock, to a lot of people watching this game tonight, because traditionally it is you have the best guards, you win. That's been the recipe for success.
No, that's a fact. And Mike, man, I think that what I saw in the semifinal games, especially down the stretch, man, rebounding is so important. And though it's a guards game, man, it's like you got to rebound the ball collectively. And there were some costly offensive rebounds in the semifinals matchups. And so talk about just the importance of rebounding, and the importance for the bigs, because they're typically under there to seal off these possessions and to get wins in the championship game.
Well, first of all, rebounding is an everybody job. It's not a big man job. You know what I mean? So all five guys got to be locked in. To hold the offense to one shot and done. I know it's easier said than done, but what we always say when we teach guys here in the NBA, seek out a body, find a body, and and go get the ball in the air and snatch it with two hands. So, like you said, the team I think that's going to get the most rebounds is probably going to come out on top, and we're going to see who's going to control the paint, just like Alex said. Yabusele was an X factor last game, but also Tavares and Pleiss. Those are two bigs that's going to battle down low, and we're going to see what happens.
Yeah, for sure. I'm interested to see Real's. I'm interested to see Real's strategy, coming out in this game, because Olympiacos, they had some success early on in the game, throwing the ball in the big fall, and he was able to get going, pretty early. So I'd be interested to see if Real kind of comes out with the same strategy, trying to pound the ball in there. But this is definitely gonna be an exciting game. But we do have a playoff tree graphic to show everybody how these teams got here. I think I'm still a little in shock. Real Madrid has made it this far, man. They've had an up and down season, man. They started off really well, and then they just had like a really tough stretch, for like a couple months, and lo and behold, they've been able to make it all the way, to the end, and that's the beauty of a single elimination playoff, man. It is it's definitely a beauty. Anything can happen, man. Anything can happen. And before we tip off, so Mike, can you speak to, is there any difference in preparation for the championship game as opposed to the semifinal? Was it a thing where you were just trying to all right, let's just treat it like every other game, stay calm, or it was just it was a different sense of urgency?
Yes, it was a sense of urgency, but yeah, I just think, again, having the two greatest coaches of all time at that point, they did keep us calm, and they kept us really focused on the game plan and only to try to control what we could control. We really couldn't control the atmosphere, like in the crowd or what was going on around us. We just had to stay locked in on what we prepared for. And, we just trusted the work after that. And we laid it all out there on the floor and executed our game plan. So that's what I'm seeing. Who's going to execute right now?
Okay, and then real quick, so as we the big story around the semifinals was all these Olympiacos fans buying tickets. So, in your estimation, since you spent so much time in Greece, who are Olympiacos fans cheering for in this game here?
Oh man, I have no idea. Honestly, they're probably, I don't know. I can't even tell you, man. I can't even vouch for them like that.
Right.
But I will tell you, like if they're still hanging around, they're still, again, Olympiacos has some of the most passionate fans in Europe, and they're going to put on a show. Whether they're playing in a championship game or not. So it's a great sight to see, man.
Yeah, I'm already knowing, man. I just figured, man, with the being so close over there at Athens, man, you could kind of get a feel for, which teams they dislike a little more than others. But yeah, hopefully the Olympiacos fans showed up and hung around to see who wins this game. But we're underway. We're a minute into this game. 0-0 is Big Tavares misses a mid-range shot, and Efes is going back down, man. But I'm definitely interested to see what Shane's gonna do. Is he just took that three there, man? Shane kind of took over in that game. So, Alec, do you think Shane is going to be the key factor for Efes coming away with a championship here?
I think he's always the key factor in every single game they play. A guy that pulls as much attention as he does and is still able to deliver night in and night out. He's, the total. I think you look back to any of their games during the regular season, playoffs, the last 3 years when they've been dominating and, being a part of that best team conversation is when he has a good game, they don't lose. And
Right.
So when Shane Larkin has the ball, it's just a matter of, like, as an opposing team, you double him, he gets it out of his hands quick, and you're playing 4-on-3. You show against him, he's too quick, he's beating the show. You switch, he punishes the switch. You drop, he's shooting the three. It's like pick your poison against a guy like Shane Larkin. And I think Madrid's best bet is to mix it up so that he's not getting the same look every single time. You saw the first possession, Tavares switched on him, made him take a tough play. And then the second possession, that pull-up transition three, they went under the first screen. So we'll see if Madrid gives them different looks throughout the game.
Yeah, I think you definitely have to switch up the coverages on Shane, but he does present a lot of problems. And, kind of like I was saying in the semifinals, man, he has, his speed and his quickness. He has that athletic ability. He can get into the paint, at any time. And, when he's putting his head down and getting those paint touches and getting guys involved, Efes just looks like a completely different team. But, I think he's definitely going to have to be be on his game today. As we got a 1-0 lead. I see some fans in the comments looking for the link. If you guys can head over to EuroLeague.tv to watch this game. We have a promo code F420 if you're looking for 20% off the Final Four package. But you guys can head over to EuroLeague.tv to watch this game. But man, like Micic playing back in his hometown, man, I think that's gonna be it'll be a special win for him, man. I mean, how many fans do you think he probably has, man? Did you guys have your families out there for your finals appearances? Mike, you can start.
Yeah. I sure did. My family was at every one of them, and it's a special feeling and a special situation because your family don't get to see you play all year long in person. And now they're come here to the biggest platform. So it's like your family's there in the crowd. So there's only one thing to do, and that's to show up and show out. And that's what I used to do, man. It was the greatest feeling in the world to me.
All right. What about you, Alec?
Yeah, so it was kind of an interesting situation for me. It was my first year in Europe in general. Not only that, but my first Final Four, first time making it. So I actually I didn't have my wife, didn't have any family members at all because it was so new. Everything was so new at the time for us. My wife was already at home back in that year. At the end of the season, she went home early to kind of get ready for summer and whatnot. So I basically had to use everybody else's family to enjoy it with them and kind of, FaceTime and use all that to try and make them involved. But my wife, she definitely, you ask her about it, she regrets it to this day, not being there and not being able to enjoy that moment. But she had other things to do, and she made a promise the next time that no matter what happens, the next time she's there for sure.
Nah, I'm already knowing, man. But I think that the beauty of it all, especially with technology, even if they're not there, you can FaceTime. As I'm sure Mike knows, back in the day, man, you didn't really have all that. You couldn't stay as connected with people back home. You know what I mean? I used to get the Skype calls from my friends overseas with all the numbers and stuff. Like, yo, what's going on? Calling me, man. But staying in touch is a little different for Americans back in the day. But real quick, we have to get to our player head-to-head matchup. Today's matchup that we'll be following is Eddie Tavares versus Tibor Pleiss. Tavares averaging 10.9 points, 7.4 rebounds, and an 18.4 PIR. Pleiss is averaging 9.4 points, 4.3 rebounds, and a 10.9 PIR. Both of them won EuroLeague with their current team, so we're going to see what impact they have on this game. As we've seen, both guys already got some touches and made a little bit of an impact already. So we're going to see how that continues to play out, man. So Alec, what do you think? What kind of pace do you think favors Real Madrid in this game?
I think if you can get into a pound the paint, wait for your post-up mismatches, try and get Efes into a game of, okay, who can we attack a little bit slower, that's going to favor them. They got bigger bodies. They're going to be as physical as they possibly can. They're going to try and get Larkin in the low post, Micic involved in pick and roll. They're going to pick. They're going to dive. They're going to try and control the paint. If they can get into that pace of a game, I think that's what favors them a little bit more. Because if you get in a transition game, with Vasa, with Shane making the plays in transition, other guys running the wings for Efes, I think you're not gonna like it. You're not gonna like it if you're Madrid. So we'll see. We'll see if they can continue to put the pressure on them and make the game controllable for them.
Right. Misha hits a bank three, man. The bank's open when you back at the crib, man. Like I said, you playing in your backyard. Some shots you don't think you fall, man.
I guess so, man. He's feeling comfortable right now, man. Like you said, shots off the glass like that, he's feeling good for sure.
Yeah, man. It's yo, Alec, like as a shooter, making a bank three, like how do you feel off of that? If you weren't trying to bank it, do you think because it went in, it helps your confidence, or your confidence just kind of stays put because you probably didn't mean to make it that way?
Man, the world is yours at that point. Let me tell you, it's you have that feeling in your mind, like, all right, if I'm making stuff like this might be I'm looking to get the next shot up as quickly as possible because I don't want that luck to run out. I can remember a few instances. I think of all the instances I can remember banked threes in my games in my career, I think were games where I was like really feeling that they were either heat checks or they were just something that
Right.
was leading to an unbelievable game. I think multiple 3-point game. Like that's if I can think back to all the games in my career where a bank went in. Definitely, it was definitely that.
Right. Yeah, even your misses are makes. You know what I mean? It's ain't nothing wrong with that, man. But we got a tight game so far, 8-7, as we got a quick timeout. But yeah, man. So Mike, man, obviously with Big Tavares down there, man. He's obviously a load, with size and strength. But you guys had some big, y'all had some strong bigs back there in Pana back in the day, with yourself, Pekovic, and going on down the list, man. What's it like, obviously having a big body to bang against in practice like every day, and then stepping onto a court where maybe okay, you're getting a different kind of look without another player? Is it something where, let's just say you're playing against more of a finesse big, you kind of have to, adjust your mentality, or you just always play like, I'm just going to play physical, regardless?
No, I mean, you have to adjust your mentality because, I mean, you can't be physical with everybody. And just, with my footwork and my mobility and agility to get around bigs and beat bigs off the dribble sometimes, I just use my quickness more times than not. And then, some games I knew what bigs I could be physical with, but it all depends on the matchup due to the personnel who was I playing against. And, once I locked into those details, I made my adjustments and did my job to help my team to the best of my ability.
Yeah. So
Right back down,
what
dribble,
main
spin baseline every time. Never failed, huh?
Well, you got to have a go-to and a counter, man. You know what I mean? So I
right.
mean, and I didn't get a lot of post-ups anyway because we ran so many pick and rolls. But I had to have some kind of moves down there when I did get the ball on the block. So that was one of them. If you gave me the jump hook in the middle, I was taking. If not, I'm trying to get over the right shoulder. And I had a couple counters to go with that as well. So I was cool.
Man, Mike, you were definitely one of those
Yo,
bigs where it was like you almost knew something was coming, and it happens, and you're like, dang, like that. I knew that was coming, and you still got it.
Yeah, well, I mean, shoot, I mean, listen, when you play with, high IQ kind of players, I mean, again, when you go down our rosters, I mean, we really have some really good guards, some really good playmakers. And then just playing with each other for like 7, 8, 9 years at a time. I mean, you develop just an unreliable, type of chemistry. You know where guys are going to be. On defense, if you get beat, where your help is coming. You expect the teammate to be there, and that was, vice versa. If I wasn't holding my end, somebody would let me know, and I would let them know if they wasn't holding their end. So it was championship ball, man, all across the board, and then that's why we had so much success, in that time.
Yeah, that's a great point, man. Because I mean, if you look at just going back to the whole conversation about keeping that core together. I mean, if you look at like the cores of these two teams here, more or less, especially in the business of basketball today, they've been able to keep a lot of their core together. And we look up and they're here at the championship, and same thing with with Barcelona as well over the last few years. But it's was that kind of more of a trend you saw, Mike, when you were first coming over to Europe, where a lot more teams were able to kind of keep their core together? Because I feel like now there's just so much turnover, in regards to players coming in and out and things like that.
I mean, I can't really speak for all teams, but my situation at Panathinaikos, that's exactly what it was. I mean, we kept the nucleus of guys and just added like 2 or 3 new guys, like probably every single year. And again, like when you keep that nucleus, it was easier to bring on, 2 new guys, and they would just follow along from what was already laid in front of them, because all the championships and stories, everybody respected. So all they had to do was just fall in line to, all the other leaders on the team, and they was going to have some good success as well. So I think continuity goes a long way. Like you said, you don't see it a lot in our business because there's a lot of turnover. in the game of basketball.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, you still got to be a pro and go out there and do your job.
Yeah, nah, for sure. As Misa just gets another layup, and now we have a score of 12-8. Real Madrid's been clicking, but Efes is definitely hanging around as we're under 2 minutes here heading in. So Alec, man, is there which player? Let's say like which of the forwards on the floor right now was the toughest to guard for you, and what reason? Not on the floor, but on these two teams. Excuse me.
Yeah, I mean these two teams are totally different in how they use their bigs, right? So with Efes, it's space, it's rebound, it's set a pick and roll 1-4 every now and then. There's not much more to their offense because they have such great guard play. It's pick and roll. It's so heavy pick and roll. It's space the floor. With Madrid, you got Yabusele who's getting cross screens. Sometimes he's getting pin downs. They're using him in pick and roll as well. They're using him on the low post. I think Madrid uses their 4 and 5 men, and even back when they had Anthony Randolph was healthy and he was doing his thing, and Trey Tompkins as well. Like they had guys at the 4 that were a problem that they had to worry about on every possession. Not only could they shoot, but they could come off action. And Madrid does a great job. I think they're one of the best teams in Europe at using screens, setting screens, playing the off-screen game, as well as pick and roll and spacing. So the guys on Madrid. The continuity is another thing. They just you got to be on your toes at all times with those guys.
Yeah, for sure, man. And it's funny, man. I mentioned in the other semifinal, but I was having a conversation with Deshaun Thomas, and we were just talking about how EuroLeague has so many good forwards, but obviously, like the guards get a lot of the love, but it's not talked about enough. Like the forwards that are in EuroLeague, man, they're just so well-rounded, man. They score inside, they score out. A lot of them can facilitate, distribute. It's definitely not talked about enough. I think the forward play in EuroLeague this year is Tavares just muscled his way to that basket on that switch.
Sure did.
Gotta get the kids out the street.
Yeah, get them out of there. But go back to what your comment you were saying. But that's just a testament to the European game, man, constantly evolving. You know what I mean? Like you said, everything is pretty much guard heavy. But we seeing bigs, all across the world put their mark down, man. And with Jokic winning the MVP, Giannis as well is a versatile big, positionless big, and we're just seeing a different dynamic for coming from the power forward and a center position nowadays in the game.
Yeah, nah, for sure, man. And everybody back home, we're coming down to the last 30 seconds here. As Shane goes coast to coast and gets another bucket for Efes, but we got a score of 15 to. Was it going to be 15-13 after this layup? And I think we got a free throw coming.
Man,
yeah, we got a free throw coming after this. Man, got to. Especially when he going, you got to corral that joint. You got to throw some kind of bodies in his way. You got to get him to slow down, man. Because Shane get down there in a heartbeat. So we got to score 15-13 with Shane at the free throw line and 22 seconds left, man. I think this has been a good quarter for Real Madrid, though, man. Kind of keep the scores low, defensively. Don't really let Efes get going, filling up, putting the ball in the basket and whatnot. So as we see, Big Tavares, man, already 12.7 rebounds, man. That's a good game. That's a good championship game. You know what I mean? It's just the first quarter, man.
Right.
12.7 rebounds, solid in the championship.
Yeah, do your thing, big fella. I'm a fan of Big Eddie, man. You know what I mean? I had a chance to actually coach him when I was in the G League working with Canton, and Atlanta sent him down to us. Played a couple games with us. So yeah, man, he's definitely trending in the right direction. He's evolved and gotten a lot better since the last time I saw him. So man, good job to big fella, man.
Yeah, nah, for sure. And that is the end of the first quarter. We got a score of 15-14. Real Madrid is up, and we'll be seeing what's going to happen in the second quarter, man. See if any team is going to take the edge or jump out. But EuroLeague is giving the chance for you to win your favorite team's jersey. All you have to do, excuse me, all you have to do is chance it at the BKT memory game. As you can see with this graphic here, you can find the link on the EuroLeague website, EuroLeague.net. But yeah, you can win your team's jersey. Yo, y'all still got all your jerseys from your playing days or nah?
I got a couple of them, man. You know what I mean? Like majority, I done gave them out to family or like some fans or whatever. But my most important ones are the ones that I actually played or won in or some kind of special moment. I have those, and those I'm not giving away at all.
What about you, Alec? You been able to come away with some of your jerseys?
Yeah, I've got one from each season that I'm gonna make sure I get framed and have for in my house someday. But like each one that I have from each individual season is the most significant. Like Mike was saying, like I have the jersey I won when we won the Final Four. That's the one I have framed from my year with Cheska. And then every year since then, it's always been a jersey that either had some kind of significance, whatnot, or another. But hoping to have a nice little jersey wall in my man cave someday, or like a little trophy room like Mike's got in the background.
Yeah. Mike got all that jewelry. Mike got all that jewelry in the background, man. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that's nothing but hard work and dedication, man. You know,
I'm already knowing.
You know, and you put in the work, man, you're gonna get blessed in some form or fashion, man. Succeed or fail. I mean, that's just the beauty of the game. You know, I wasn't always perfect. You know, I just worked in it, and my game just evolved. You know what I'm saying, year after year, man.
No, I'm already knowing, man, and yeah, definitely, man. This is definitely a show, man. We like to, you know, hand out the flowers, as we say, man. And you've had an amazing career, as I'm sure you know, man. But no, it's dope, man. It's dope to see all the trophies, man, and all your hard work, man. And you know, Alec, you're gonna be there one day too, man. With like you said, in your man cave, you're gonna have hopefully more championships and more jerseys hanging up, man. You might have to get 2 rooms.
Man, I got one. I got one cup right now. One cup is lonely. It's super lonely over there. I don't expect MVPs and first team all EuroLeagues, man. But I tell you what, if I can get a couple more championships by the time I'm transitioning, like Mike did into coaching, player development, whatever it may be, I'll be showing those off every day. Anybody that wants to come to my house, I'll take them there, right? In the first room they see.
Maybe that's what I need to start doing, man. First room they see, hey, you know, come here, show off my hardware. But hey, man, it'll happen, man. You know, you keep sticking to it and put yourself in a good position, man. It'll happen again, and you get some company to the one that's lonely right now.
No, that's
what it's all about.
Man.
That's what we do. That's what it's all about, man. You play this game to win. You play this game to win championships.
Mm-hmm.
No, for sure. And everybody back home, the second quarter is underway. We're a minute in. Real Madrid is up 18-16 as we're just under the 9-minute mark, man. Yeah, as Elijah Bryant just picks up that foul, man. Elijah had himself a game last game, man. He couldn't miss from 3. Be interesting to see if he can ride that wave, man, and keep that hot hand. You know, in this game,
I don't think many people are talking about it, but I don't think many people realize this guy is going on 3 years in a row, possibly winning a championship. He won NBA championship with Milwaukee. Jumps on with Efes afterwards. Wins one last year. I mean, he's going. This is a 3-year stint that, like, you know, who name somebody else that's done something like that? That's, you know, this is something incredible for him, and for him to be playing well too. And this year is icing on the cake, I'm sure, for him.
Yeah, for sure, man. And I think Elijah's a great dude, man. It'd be great to see him, man. I almost forgot, man. I can't believe it. It's the last one, man. I've been brain dead, man. I need predictions, but it's perfect timing. It's 18-18, so now one of y'all can cheat. So who's winning this game, man? Mike, we're gonna start with the OG, man. Who's winning this game?
Man, listen, it's tough. You know what I mean? You got one team who's like on a historic run with the most, EuroLeague titles in Madrid. I think they have 10. They're looking to get 11. And, FS is also, they're right on a historic run, trying to be the first team to repeat since Olympiacos since 12-13. So, oh man, if I have to choose right now, I'm gonna go with the defending champs with FS. I just think that they rode this wave in all this momentum all to get all the way to this platform. And when you got a closer like Lincoln and Misic with the game on the line, you know what I'm saying? I mean, to me, that's tough to beat. So I'm a roll with the defending champs right now.
Okay, all right.
Man,
Alec,
I'm gonna have to
rolling?
agree. I'm gonna have to agree, Anthony, because I told you last time that's who I thought was the team that was going to win it, because I think that they're the only team in Europe that beats themselves. Nobody beats them. In order for them to not win the game, they almost beat themselves. Whether it's they outshoot themselves where they can't climb back, or for whatever reason they defensively aren't as sharp. But I think they're the only team in Europe that truly, when they have it going, the firepower they have, the creation, the playmaking, the shot making ability they have, it's
Yeah.
once they have that going on this stage, it's going to be tough to beat. And we'll see. We'll see if Madrid can hit some perimeter shots, then, like I said, we'll be talking about something different at the end of the day here, because I do think Madrid is going to control the paint. But I ultimately, as it stays close like this, I think it favors Efes.
Man,
Yeah,
Alec,
nah, for sure.
I could tell you won a EuroLeague title, man. Just talk about what beats yourself as a team. You know what I'm saying. You know what beats yourself night in and night out, and FS has that luxury, man. I think they know that, so they're going to go for it. Hopefully, our predictions are right, so we'll see.
Yeah, no, I definitely got Efes winning this game, man. And on the polls with the YouTube comments, man, it's close right now. They say 52% thinks Real Madrid is gonna win this one here. 52% and 48% for Efes. So we're gonna see how it plays out, man. But one thing I will say, man, and I was talking about it in the semifinal, man. When the game get close and it's hero ball time, Sergio's gonna answer the call. Like he gonna go out there and try and make some plays. He might take a questionable shot here and there, but for some reason, man, it seems like these EuroLeague legends like tend to come through. When you need them to, when the game's like really on the line. So I'm excited, man. I hope this game stays close and we get another down to the wire game, man. The semifinal action was amazing. It looks like we're set up to a similar type of game here today, man. Both teams fighting it out.
Always amazing to me how these guys, everybody talks about the last couple of years, like, oh, Madrid, these guys, they're past their prime. They're not what they used to be. And every year they continue to dig into the crates, it seems like, and they just pull out, vintage Sergio Yul, Rudy Fernandez, Coser with an amazing third quarter last game to bring them into the championship game. I mean, these guys still have it because of that championship DNA, that, the MVPs, the first team all EuroLeagues. Like, these guys are still those guys. May not be as consistent as usual, because, like, I'm sure Mike, not me yet, but Mike might be able to tell you, get a little bit older, it may not happen for you night in and night out like it used to. But these guys can still, as you can see there, that tough bucket. Like, these guys still have it, man. They can have it, especially in a Final Four when it's one game. They can have it.
Mm-hmm. And that's the beauty of the Final Four, man. Like, even though you get to a stage where you, like you said, you're not as consistent really anymore. Your athleticism is going down. You get us on that platform, man. I mean, regardless of how your body feel, your age, we're going to go out there and perform and give it all we got.
Right.
There's your guy right there.
That's definitely.
Yeah.
That was the man. So, so Mike, back in 2010, 2011, you were all EuroLeague first team. What was it? How did it feel to be, awarded first team? Like, what did that mean to you to receive that honor?
I mean, I felt like I finally got my just due. I felt like I was playing some great basketball even before that. I never really was honored in that form or fashion. But When you're selected among the best, like among your peers, that just lets you know how much, other teams respect you, other opponents respect you. And it was a great feeling for, to have to be honored on the first, team. And then, the next year I was on the second team, your all EuroLeague selection. So it's a great honor, like I said, when you get to be respected among the best. And it's a memory and a moment that I would cherish forever, man.
Yo, it's funny, man. I seen a tweet by Mike James, and he was saying that, like, he said he thinks it's harder to select all EuroLeague second team than it is first team, because he said on EuroLeague first team, there's probably 7 guys that could be first team. But he's like, for EuroLeague second team, it's probably 17 that you have to choose from for those, for those spots. And I thought that was an interesting tweet, man, because usually when you're talking about the MVP race and EuroLeague first team, there's there are probably around like 7 guys or so that you think are for sure locked and deserving of the first team. But I mean, second team, I mean, there's just so many good players on so many teams, man. It's like that nod could go either way. So for you to be able to make it, man, is special.
It is, and maybe they need a third team as well. You know what I mean? Because I mean, if it's 15 players on the roster, they probably need to have, a 15-man, all EuroLeague selection. But again, congratulations to those guys who did it. Congratulations to Mirotic, man, winning the MVP. That's an incredible honor. I was blessed to play with a couple of MVPs myself, with Vasilis Spanoulis and Dimitris Dimitridis. So even though it goes to one person, I know he shares that award with his teammates as well.
Right. Yeah, no, that's a fact, man. Man, Dimitridis, man, when I came over to Europe, man, he was my favorite European player to watch, man. He was amazing to me, just with the size and the passing ability, man. I just you know how it is when you first come over to Europe, you're still trying to figure out the lay of the land, who's good, who's not. Like, everybody's just new to you.
Right.
And I remember watching him, man, and I was just amazed, man. He was a heck of a player. What was he like personality wise, and like his demeanor, outside of like the games, like in practices and stuff?
Man, he was, if you didn't know who Dimitri Dimitridis was, you probably walked right past him and wouldn't even know him. Like, he was super quiet, really didn't talk too much, really didn't want to be like into the limelight. Like, he was just focused on his job and his responsibilities every single day. I mean, all of us were, and we all did it in our own, unique way. But, I remember, like, even on game days, like, he wouldn't even go out and shoot. You know what I mean? He would just sit right in his locker and just listen to Greek music until it was time for, Obradovic and Itudas give us the last, game plan or any kind of adjustments before we go out on the floor. And then, you get to see like one of the most vicious killers, man, to ever play like the EuroLeague basketball, like unfold right in front of your eyes, man. So it was great to play with him, man. You know what I mean? I got some great stories to tell, but I can go on all day. With me and him, but to play with a guy like that, with that kind of IQ, that kind of size, and that ability to make himself better, but also to make his teammates better around him, it was a beautiful time to play basketball at that time.
Nah, that's dope, man. And Alec, was there who was a player when you first came over to Europe where maybe you didn't know about him like before, but once you played against it, you was like, wow, this dude can hoop?
What comes to my mind when I hear Mike describe Diamantidis, and I've heard other people describe him the same way as well. And I mean, I knew this guy was good, but like the way you just described Diamantidis, Mike, is exactly how I would like think about Nando De Colo. Like, Nando De Colo was my teammate. I came over to Europe for the first time, hopped into training camp practice, and Nando's like an unassuming, quiet guy in the locker room, not making, not disturbing anything. He's doing his own thing. Does his own little routine if he needs to. If not, he's not warming up before games. He's going to go out, do some layup lines, and then go kill the game. But like in practice, it was like snap of a finger, and this guy was locked in and taking it to you every moment he could. And that was my first introduction to a guy like that. And now you see it all the time when I'm playing. I like to tell people all the time, I get my butt beat by guys that can't even pronounce their last names. That's how good European basketball is. And a guy like De Colo, was one of those dudes in practice was just,
Mm-hmm.
murdering everybody
Mhm.
because he was just unassuming, but would just hit that switch right away.
Yeah, for sure, man. Nando's he's definitely one of my favorite European players as well. But just to catch the fans back up real quick, man, 31-24, man. Real Madrid's they're definitely in control right now. We got 2 minutes left. And Shane dices his way back to the rim, man.
Mm.
Shane trying to keep them back in this thing, man. This is a nice little back and forth game, man. I'm really glad to see
Yeah.
Anthony Randolph hit that three earlier, man. Obviously he's
I
been
am
with
too. I
Real
agree
for
with
a
you.
while, and he's had a unfortunate go with that with the injuries, but yeah, and it's great to see him out there and just coming in like a true vet and knocking the shot down. But we got a quick replay of that Poirier lob from the second quarter that we're gonna
I
throw to.
know
Look
that
like
was
his head was
nasty.
it looked like his head was at the rim, man.
Mm.
Hey man,
Yeah, another
everybody
lesson
jump a
right
little
there,
higher,
Felipe
man.
Reyes. I guess so,
Yeah.
man. Listen, trust me, man. I used to play above that rim at one point in time, man. So I know what that feeling is like, especially when you go on that platform. You probably jumping maybe 1 or 2 more inches higher just because of,
Right, get a
saying
little
all the
bit.
excitement and yeah, everything that's going through you, man. It's just like you're probably gonna jump a little bit higher, man. So like, yeah, that's a great play right there. Love when bigs finish over the rim, man.
Yeah, nah, for sure, man. It's yeah, he's underrated athletic, man. I mean, to be that strong and be able to get up like that, man. It's he definitely got a talent, man. But nah, it's crazy, man. Just basketball today, I feel like I mean, even like just looking back to like kids that are like a high school age, man. It's like everybody's so much more athletic than before, man. It's crazy. It's like
Yeah, man. Like
it's insane,
it's
man.
it is. I be watching some high school kids as well. Like, wow, like the stuff that they're doing now, like I can't even imagine doing that stuff when I was 16, 17, 18 years old. But like I said, man, this game is forever evolving. And we're gonna see more things like in the future, in this game. And as long as we all stay open-minded, man, we're gonna see, a lot more great games, a lot more generational talent, coming out in this game of basketball.
Yeah, nah,
So I
for
got a
sure,
question
man.
for you then Mike, building off of that. So you're in coaching, player
Hmm.
development, all of that now. How has your
Hmm.
approach to that changed over the last however many years from when you were playing to now in the modern game in the present day today? Like, how was your approach to the player development aspect with players, knowing that that's what's true now is the athleticism and everything else? Like, how's your approach changed over the years?
I mean, it's changed some. But working with guys, I always try to like just stick with their fundamentals. I mean, you know how it is, Alec. I mean, even for me, like had a lot of a lot of athleticism and talent, but when you get to this high level, man, everybody has that. And it's only, those fundamentals that separate you from being good to great. It's those fundamentals that separate you from winning games or losing ball games. So I always try to keep guys on that type of foundation, try and develop a good, fundamental skill set. Because as you see right now, our two-time MVP, what I'm saying, he has a high level fundamental, game. And as long as you can stay within that type of situation, your game can always evolve and fit into any kind of system.
Hmm. No, that's a great point. That is a great point. And we're down to 40 seconds left. Real Madrid 31, Anadolu Efes 29. Let's see who can close out this first half. Randolph hits a big tray ball, man.
Mm,
Okay,
mm.
AR in the building, man. 5 points,
I
5 point
like
lead
I, I like
for
that pump
Real.
fake too, man. I like that pump fake. Got a
Hmm.
defender in the air, kept a good balance, good
Yeah.
base, and shoot, let it fly, big fella.
Yo, Alec, you rather pump fake, no dribble, hit the three, or pump fake and take a dribble to get your rhythm?
If I can stay set in the same spot, pump fake, no dribble, I would take that any day.
Yeah.
Anytime you gotta shift your body weight, you get yourself on the move, your percentage is automatically taking a little bit of a hit anytime you have to move your body. Same reason why shooting a
Right.
spot up is better than shooting an off stagger screen shot. Better percentage when you can
Yes,
keep your
sir.
body balanced and in the same place.
Yeah,
I agree
nah,
with
I feel
that.
you, man. And it's that is the end of the first half. Real Madrid is taking control, and in true championship veteran form, these guys are they're acting like they've been here before, and they're showing out. And Efes is hanging around though. I think we're gonna have a second half full of fireworks, as the big players on both teams have definitely made an impact, and we got a lot to look forward to here in the second half. But that is the end of the first half. We're going to take a quick break and leave you guys with some EuroLeague entertainment, but we'll be back in a couple minutes.
This much emotion, this much significance here at the Stark Arena. Turn and jam.
Larkin, got it. Are you kidding me? Dunstan rises.
Sergio Ewing.
Singleton!
And here in crunch time, he makes it!
If it goes, he'll win it!
2 semi-final classics in Belgrade. First, a cliffhanger as Anadolu Efes Istanbul ambushed Olympiacos Piraeus set the buzzer.
Clock is running out. If it goes, he'll win it!
Micic is an experienced player, a great player.
So in general, in this situation, I like to shoot the ball.
The best way is to attack with Micic.
In this case, you have 50-50 chance when you take the shot, and I just took it.
When he made the shot, I was a little bit upset about the situations. When I saw Barzokas, my friend, on the Olympiacos bench, it's really a very upset situation.
Followed by a Real Madrid masterclass as Los Blancos did what Los Blancos do as they overcame FC Barcelona.
And here in crunch time, he makes it!
Just stay together, believe in ourselves. From the beginning to the end of the game, we always stay together, always play hard and help each other. And I think that was really the key.
We find out solutions. We found how to play, how to keep on fighting, keep looking for a victory. And that talks very good about my players.
An electrifying championship game confrontation now lies in wait. European basketball's most decorated club, Real Madrid, going toe-to-toe with the game's rapidly rising power, defending champions Anadolu Efes Istanbul.
It will be a good match, physical match. This team is really unique because they know how to play for results.
You prepare for these kind of games during the whole year. We know how difficult it is to play against Efes, but when the game starts, you have to be ready.
First of all, we need to enjoy the situation. Then we will play without stress. We will play our game, and then we'll see.
We got to expect to go over there and get hit for 40 minutes. And, we just got to play our game, play with a lot of energy, play tough, and do the same, team effort, and try to get the win.
It's just one game. We also have that good winning mentality.
Final Four, especially the final, we know everybody gonna be watching it, so there's no pressure. You go over there, try to play your best, try to help the team, just not try to force. Just read the game, see what the game brings to you, and try to win.
One more. Let's put it this way. Let's go simple. One more.
Two teams with contrasting history and traditions now meet on the biggest stage. The scene is set. Destiny awaits in Belgrade.
Welcome back as we're here at halftime and joined by the EuroLeague champions, Alec Peters and Mike Batiste. Man, after those features and, for the last couple of weeks, they've been EuroLeague's been pushing this trailer for Land of MVPs, the documentary that they have on basically on the Serbian players and the success that they've had. In y'all opinion, we start with you, Alec. Why do you think Serbia is so good at producing basketball players? I mean, the whole country's the size of like LA, you know what I mean? But I mean, the amount of talent that comes out of there, like, it's crazy. What do you attribute that to?
It's so interesting every time I get the chance to talk with one of my Serbian teammates, and I've played with a few of them over the last couple of years. It almost seems like that's the one place. I know everybody wants to talk about, basketball is everything, like they live it there, man. Like it really, when you hear them talk about it and talk about how they grew up, and talk about the things they went through, the work they put in, the clubs that they played for, what they had them doing, like it was their life, man. It really was, in every essence of the word. Those guys were, working to become something, and they loved the work. I think that goes unnoted with guys like Jokic, Micic, Teodosic. Like those dudes loved the work at that young age. They loved to do it, and they loved the process of it. To get to where they're at right now, to them and the people around them, like it's just, I don't think it can be surprising, I guess, to them to be at that level, but to know what they've been through, what they put themselves through to get there. To hear anybody that I played with from Serbia, and I got to play with Micic as well, like he puts it in. There's no shortage of things that he can say he didn't do to get himself to this level, and to see him reap the benefit of it is amazing.
Yeah, for sure. Mike, what have you noticed about Serbian basketball players over your playing and even your coaching career?
I mean, they've always been, fundamentally sound, always play with a high level IQ. I mean, it's like Alex said, like they eat it, they sleep it, they breathe it. It's a school for them. And, it doesn't matter like how good like they are, they're always like seeking out ways to improve. When you look at every single Serbian player right now, or if you follow them from the time they started until now, you're gradually going to see involvement in their game, whether that's shooting, footwork, knowing how to screen, knowing how to read defenses, coming out of pick and roll. Like all these guys, they thrive in those situations, and they want to have a good skill set, high level fundamentals, and they want to have a good IQ. And again, that's why you see the two-time MVP, Nikola Jokic, man. I mean, when I watch him play, that's what he does, man. He just plays with a high-level IQ. He thinks the game, he reads the game, and he's always making the right play, whether that's for himself or for his teammates. And that's how the game should be played, man.
Yeah, nah, for sure, man. I mean, I think, I've spent a lot of time in Belgrade. I'm actually probably going to head to Belgrade on Tuesday here. But, each time, I'm in Serbia, whether during my playing career or not, man, I was just always just impressed with just the discipline of the players, of the Serbian players that I met, man. And like you said, like the IQs, like they're just smart basketball players, you know what I mean? And, you couple that with them just being athletic as a whole in regards to, just that country, they're really good at tennis and, a lot of other sports. It's really a special country, man. And as we all know, man, the fans in Belgrade they're different, man. They're extremely passionate, man, and it's they love basketball out there. And I think that's also one of the first things you learn coming over to Europe. You know what I mean? Is like, where are the greatest fans? And typically, you're gonna hear Greece, you're gonna hear Serbia, and you're gonna hear Turkey sometimes, but for sure Serbia is gonna come up in that conversation every single time. They eat and live basketball out there.
Yeah, no question, man. They fans, they could put on some really good atmosphere, man. I always tell the story, as cerebral as I was, man. I remember we're playing in Partizan. I think this is our 2010 season, and we're trying to advance, to the playoffs. And it was a do or die game situation, man. And we just couldn't get over the hump, man. Actually, it was 2008. I take that back. And we just couldn't get over the hump, man. Like, those fans created such a difficulty for us, man. It's like, as much as experience as we had, whatever, it's like we failed. And, you got to credit those fans, man, because they really did a number on us, man. Make sure that we couldn't call out the right plays. You know what I mean? We had to do other kind of things, what I'm saying, out of our bag to try to win the game. And they made it difficult for us, man. So, again, like, fans in Europe, I'm sorry, man. They blow the NBA fans out of the water. I mean, they just create some amazing atmospheres, man. And, they can win you 6, 7, 8 ball games alone, just how, like, rowdy they are, and make it uncomfortable for, like, your opponents.
Yes. So, Alec, what was it like playing against, like, Red Star, in their atmosphere? How does that atmosphere compare to others playing in the games that you played in Belgrade?
Yeah, Belgrade's something different. Like Mike said, there's just something about it, something about that place, that basketball. There's no, soccer's not huge there, not as big as basketball like it is in other European countries. So, like, basketball, that's what they show up for. That's what they're living for. And I think my first time playing at Red Star was my season with Efes, when they were back in EuroLeague finally. And they have those two gyms. They have one gym that's a little bit smaller for games where they don't think they're gonna pull as many fans, and they have the Stark Arena where they're playing the EuroLeague Final Four today, when they know they're going to get the big crowd. And we were the best team in the league that year, and so they were getting the big crowd. We were playing in Stark Arena. I remember just going to the free throw line that game, and I swear the basket was shaking. And I'm like, I wanted to look around and tell somebody, like, this shouldn't be happening, right? And I had a similar experience in Tel Aviv. My very first road atmosphere EuroLeague game when I was with Cheska was in Maccabi, and this was like the second game of the season. And then too, I remember going to the free throw line and thinking, like, are we, like, how do these people all know how to chant the same thing at the same time right now? It was like my first introduction to that atmosphere. But like, once you experience it, and I'm sure, Mike, you have the same feeling, like, you don't want anything else. Like, that's what you crave, that you want, that you don't, it's almost like nothing else can get you up like you need to be for the game. Like, that you want that every single time if you can get it.
Yeah. I tell everybody it is a true out of body experience, man. Yeah.
And like Mike said, you get the extra 2 inches on your vertical too. You know what I'm saying? So it's everybody wants that, shooter or not, man. Everybody wants that extra bounce.
Yeah, you're not tired at that first time out anymore. You go to the first time out, you're still it's still pumping. You're like, oh, I'm not breathing heavy. This is what I want right here.
Right.
Nah, that's a fact, man. But yeah, man, looking forward to this second half, man. Alec, what do you think Efes has to do, man, to overcome this deficit that they're in?
Well, Madrid's controlling the paint. Is what they do. That's their card. You saw with Tavares having 7 rebounds in the opening quarter, and a lot of those were offensive rebound putbacks. They're patrolling the paint right now, and Efes is really struggling from the outside. So I think you got to find a way to either get yourself a different look, maybe try to attack the paint a little bit more, get guys in foul trouble so that it can open up the outside game. But in order for Efes, I think, we're looking at a low scoring game, right? So neither team particularly is blowing the doors off offensively. So I think whoever can get it going, third quarter is everything. I think whoever can get it going in that third quarter can carry it through to the end.
Right. And Mike, putting your coach's hat on, if you're Real Madrid, what are you looking to do in this second half? What are you looking to do more of, or what
right. I'm gonna just continue to do. I'm gonna just try to do more of what we was doing in the first half, sustain that level of play. Again, these games are full of emotion, but you got to stick to what works, and that's the game plan. Continue to execute and don't go away from it. And we'll see what they're capable of doing right now in the second half. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, nah, for sure, man. And going back to y'all point, man, the 3-point shooting has been terrible for both teams. Real Madrid is shooting 3 for 15, and Efes has been shooting 3 for 12 from the 3-point line in that first half. So, and I think that stat alone definitely favors Real Madrid because they're definitely going to produce a lot of points in the paint. So let's see if either team can get it going from the outside here in the second half, because that could change the tides a little bit. But we're underway here in the second half, and this is for all the marbles here. Still got to score 34-29, and we got 9 minutes 35 seconds left here in this third quarter. Please head over to the comments section. Let us know your thoughts, your comments, your predictions. Is this going to be a comeback for Efes, or is Real Madrid gonna run away with this one? See a couple people asking for the link. You guys can head over to EuroLeague TV. That's EuroLeague.tv, and you can sign up for a pass to watch this game. We got a promo code F420, which will get you 20% off the Final Four package, the Final Four pass, excuse me. So, we got Hanger just misses the floater here, but they're getting them offensive rebounds, man.
On that glass, yeah. It's Big Eddie,
all
man.
on that glass.
Keep them off the glass, man. Sheesh.
Yeah, for sure. And we got this score change graphic, as we can see that Real's been controlling the lead throughout the majority of this game, but I mean, Efes is right there, but yeah, they definitely got to keep the big fella off the glass, man, because he's getting extra opportunities for Real, man. Eddie, man, Eddie came in with a different focus today, man. He came in with a different focus, man, for that semifinal, man.
He sure did. But 100%. I tell you one thing, man, if FS, they're going to have to sacrifice or probably put 2 guys, man, on big fella. Sometimes you're going to have to sacrifice and put an extra body on somebody that big with that much size. And if he's dominating the paint that way, I mean, it just has to be done. So we'll see if FS makes some kind of adjustment to that, man, along the way.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's 13-10 already. He's definitely doing his thing, man. It was funny, man, in the semifinal game, man. Sometimes I just, when I'm watching these games, sometimes I try to look for like other things, outside of the ball. But every time the shot would go up, whoever was on Tavares, man, it was like both arms, not even looking at the rim, just like pushing. And that's usually what you got to do, man, to try and keep them away from the basket, man. Because I mean, it's underrated how many times he gets a hand on that ball.
And and sometimes you're just going to have to come out of your rules and principles. Sometimes you're going to have to grab, you're going to have to hold. There's a lot of different things that you got to do. Whatever you have to do to keep them off the glass, man, you got to pull every stunt out your hat, especially on this type of game.
Right. And so both teams.
It's one thing to have size, but to be able to have size and use it the way you want to and use it correctly, like you see, I think you see it the most, like not only on the glass with Madrid, but like when they're in rotations defensively, because they're giving up, they got quicker opponents in Misic and Larkin, but when they're in rotation defensively, the amount of ground they're able to cover and able to funnel it back into the big where they have their shot blocking presence in Poirier and Tavares, that's where I think size can get super imposing and intimidating. And when they do it the right way, that's why I think you're seeing Efes, struggle big time, because they're in rotation, but they're also funneling everything towards the best rim protectors in the league, and that's Tavares and Poirier.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's definitely a fact, man. And and even like looking to both teams, man, both coaches are well experienced and have spent a number of years with both teams. Pablo Lasso's been with Real Madrid since 2011, and then Ataman's been in Efes since 2017. Man, Alec, what differences do you see in the systems of these two teams, and even like the personalities of these two coaches, and how do you think that influences their teams and the identity of the two teams?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to think that I have a pretty good idea. I mean, I feel like I've played Madrid 20 times in the last however many years in the ACB and in EuroLeague, and then obviously I played for Coach Ataman and Efes and all these guys that are here. And I think you have similarities and you have differences. I think Efes is so pick and roll heavy because they have the two best guards in the league. I mean, think about it. You got two guys that are using almost close to 75-80% of their possessions because they are the two best players that you can put the ball in the hands of. So you understand why keep it simple that way. And Madrid, Coach Lasso it's almost like it's organized chaos is what I want to say. It almost seems like they run really well in transition, but it's organized, and they know exactly where to screen, their screen angles, how to get guys open, how to play make when they don't necessarily have a playmaker. And I think you're seeing that really well, knowing that they don't have a traditional point guard or a full-time point guard, knowing that Sergio Yul doesn't play as many minutes as he used to. To be able to have Coach Lasso and see kind of his genius and how they're able to get here and be here in the championship game without that speaks to his ability as a coach to find that certain balance that he can have within his team, knowing that they have to play with bigger guys at guard.
Right. I see, at least, through the media, it seems like Ottoman's like, he's very confident, you know what I mean? It's like he came in and he just breathes confident, and it's like Lasso's a little more traditional, at least in the media side, of things. He seems, trying to keep everything, very, very professional and things of that nature. But, I think that at least with Ottoman's confidence, at least publicly, I feel like it takes a lot of pressure off of, the players in a sense. You know what I mean? I think that, he believes he has the best team, and he said that, it's a thunderstorm. We're going to come out of this thunderstorm and win it. And I think that, each team kind of has a personality that kind of mirrors your coach, you know what I'm saying? And you can see with Efes, man, they play with a lot of confidence, as well. So with your experience with him, would you say that is true? He gives a lot of his players and his teams, a lot of confidence.
Yeah, I think he's the epitome of a coach of when you're his guy, and he's gonna ride you until you can't, until you're not giving him what he wants. But like you see with Shane, you see with Vasa, with his guards, and the continuity that they've had. Like these are his guys, and it's a matter of like, okay, this team's been put together. Here's what has been successful for us. We're just going to do it over and over and over again. And if it doesn't work, that just means we didn't have it that day. And I think that's what you kind of see when they beat themselves, is like they're going to continue to shoot from the perimeter. They're going to continue to isolate with their mismatches from the perimeter. They're going to continue running their system. And if it just doesn't work, it just didn't work. But when it does work, and most of the time it does, as you've seen the last couple of years, why they've been so successful, that nobody beats them. I mean, it's the best high-powered, firepower that you can find in Europe and in recent history. And to your point with Coach Lasso, I mean, Coach Lasso seems like a guy that anybody would want to play for. He's always encouraging on the sidelines. He's a guy that I think he manages most of his players' minutes, so to speak. I feel like if you play for Madrid, you're never getting more than 20, 25 in a game because you have such a deep, talented roster. There's always somebody coming in to fill whatever you need. So, but with Coach Lasso, having played against him the last couple of years in both ACB and EuroLeague, it gives you that feel of a guy that the players in Madrid, they love having, they love playing for.
Right. No, for sure, man. Hey, real quick, somebody's asking for the promo code. The promo code is F420. It's the letter F420. And we got a score of 40-31. Real Madrid is up with we're almost halfway through the third quarter here. But man, Real is man, they locked in right now, man. They're definitely locked in. It's funny to think of Real being like an underdog, like, you know what I mean? After all the success that they've had, like year in and year out. And they were, it was like they were the underdog in the semifinal, and now, here they are, proving everybody wrong in a way. But I think Real, man, is a special team, man, and these guys they're definitely executing on both ends. And Sergio Llull he just reached the all-time Final Four assist leader with that last assist to Adam Hanga. So congrats to him on
big,
that, man.
Congrats. Yes, sir. Congrats to that, man.
Yeah, no, it's huge, man.
Big time.
It's crazy, man. I swear, I think Sergio's so much older than he is because he's been there so long. Like, he started at such a young age. I could have sworn this dude was almost 40, man. But
yeah, he's been there for a minute. I remember playing against him. I mean, he was young. I think that was probably, 2008, 2009, somewhere around there. Like he's been in Madrid for a long time, but it's good to see somebody that started so young, stuck with the game, and then just, got to a certain level, and sustained that year after year. I mean, longevity is like a big thing that everybody chases, once you start a certain profession, and he's been maximizing that out every single year. So congrats, man.
Yeah, no, it's definitely dope to see that. But we got a quick graphic on Vasilije Micic and some of the impact that he's been able to put on this game. As he has got 13 points with 11 PIR. It definitely probably going to be. I can see him getting ready to turn up here as the game starts to wind down. The ball's going to be in it's going to be in your players' hands, your star players' hands. As the game starts getting down to the wire. So, but man, Real just keeps forcing these turnovers, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's surprising that they doubled so far away from the block, man. But it ended up working out on their favor.
Sometimes that's game plan. Sometimes that's just the feel.
Right.
You know what I mean? Especially if you got a big that's going to turn the ball over. Hey, go get it and create a turnover. Let's get out and
run. Right. No, that's definitely a fact, man. They've been I've been really impressed with Real, man. This whole game defensively. I mean, I expected a low-scoring game, somewhat of a low-scoring game, just because, obviously with so much at stake, everybo's going to be little more locked in on defense. But I mean, to hold Efes to the 31 points, man, here, and we're a little below halfway through the third quarter, man. That's a testament to the defense they've been playing today.
Yeah, well, Madrid, they got guys that like to defend. They got a ball day that defends, Honka defends, and just like Alex said, when those guys get beat, or if it's game plan, they channel all that stuff into Poirier and Tavares, and it's tough to score over that. And when you wear on those guys over a course of time, that only wears on the opponent. So again, hold the FS to now it was 33 points. I mean, that's a great job done by their defense. So let's see if they can sustain it for the rest of the game.
Yeah, for sure. And real quick, we got a replay of Shane Larkin from earlier in the second quarter on the split.
Yeah,
tough finish.
Man, as a big, you just can't allow that to happen. I know he's a great talent, but you can't let no guard split you, man, or even get around you, man. You got to find a way to keep that in front. I know it's easier said than done, but can't allow that to happen.
Yeah, man. It's how does that feel for a big, man, getting split on a pick and roll, man? Is that would that be an equivalent of getting crossed up, for a guard? You know what I mean?
I don't know. I mean, to me, every time I got split, I would look right at Obradovic, and he's turning all purple on the sideline. And if it ain't him, then he Tutis is like me up on the sideline. So, it's just like you just feel like you just let your teammates down for that specific possession with your responsibility. So, it was a tough job, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's one job I really excelled in. My pick and roll defense was pretty good. I barely let things get through me or around me. And, I try to keep everything out on the perimeter for the most part. So I did a fairly good job. But at the end of the day, it's not easy, man. You're playing against some really great talent night in and night out.
Yeah. Alec, what's your thought on messing up a split on a defensive assignment?
I would say majority of the time I'm always switching, so I try to put
Okay.
myself in a position where I'm not getting split. But I will say, when it does happen, and it's happened to me a couple of times, it happens to everybody. The more you play, the more things are going to happen, right?
Right.
But like you just almost you see the fast forward to the film session that you're about to have the next day, and you know the coach, whoever it is just is waiting for that moment, and you're sitting there like, all right, here it comes, like, like here's that one time that that split happened. But it does, man. Like Mike said, it's like a man. I just let everybody down here. Like this was now it's 4-on-3 and easy layup, easy kick out three, and you're just like stuck in mud, almost watching it all happen.
Right.
Yeah, no,
Right.
for sure, man. But we're gonna check back in on our head-to-head matchup, and we're gonna see how these two have obviously been playing well today. Tavares with 13 and 11, and Tibor Pleiss with 9 and 3 rebounds and 2 blocks. So yeah, it's definitely been a game that favors the bigs today, and both of these players are playing well. So let's see how they finish it out. As we got a score of 40-36 with 2 minutes left in this third quarter, man. Getting close to somebody's getting closer to raising the trophy, one way or
Yeah,
another.
man.
But
It's getting exciting, man. Like I can't wait. Who's about to hold this trophy in the end.
yeah, man, it's definitely gonna be exciting, man. And man, Gabriel Deck, man, I've been real impressed with him. I've been real impressed with him. Coming back to Real Madrid, or coming to Real Madrid this year, and the energy that he's brought. And then just that extra body and the versatility that he has. As I saw him a couple possessions before, just coming flying in for that rebound, man. His energy is infectious, man, and I think he's been a real key part to Real Madrid's success this year. Alec, what are your thoughts on Deck and his contributions to this team this season?
He's almost like a guy that you never thought he left. Like the way he was able to incorporate himself back in, almost seamlessly because he was so familiar with everybody in the system. But I think it was the perfect kind of thing for that time period. Like everybody counted out Madrid a couple months ago, right? They had some stuff going on. They were losing a few games, they had a couple losing streaks. Like everybody was kind of, writing Madrid off as this team that was not the same as they used to be. And here we are in the final game. They're in here and they're controlling the game at this point. And I think, Gabriel Deck and everybody else stepping up along the way has been it's been kind of amazing to watch. I think for a European basketball fan or anybody that's watched EuroLeague, you're watching this and you're just like, you're amazed by it. You're amazed at the job Madrid was able to put together the last stretch of the season.
Yeah, for sure, man. And what I'm about to say, Sergio hits that. But those are the type of shots that fall for Sergio in the fourth, though. If it was 2 minutes to go in the fourth, that joint might have dropped.
Yes, they do. But that's just the greatness to his talent, man. And as a coach, you want those guys, man, that wants to take those kind of shots. They might be questionable, but at the end of the day, man, you got somebody that can go get it, and that's a luxury to have in your pocket.
Yeah, man. I mean, I feel like to have that, players like him, man, just seem to have that unwavering confidence. No matter how the game's going, it could be a real quiet night, but when that fourth quarter on, it's the same killer as if, they dropped 40 in the last 3 quarters, man. So it's you definitely want that kind of veteran leadership, especially in these type of games. But we got a close one here, man. 42-40 with under a minute left in this third. And man, Efes is starting to show some life, man. It's Meech's got a couple buckets here, and we're gonna see if Efes can tie this thing up, man.
Yeah.
I think the most important thing, and I think I wanted to make a little bit of a point of this at halftime, is that, like, you think of the free throw line, like that, when you don't have it as an offense, whether it's from the perimeter or whether you can't get anything on the basket, try and get the other team in foul trouble and try and get to the free throw line. You can see Madrid, you have them in the bonus right now, and Efes still has fouls to give. I think that was a huge part of why they're back to a 2-point game and not at six or 7 like what it was because they were able to get some foul trouble going on the bigs in Madrid.
Right. Yeah, no, that's definitely going to be important. It's definitely going to be
for
be
FS,
important,
man. It's like closing quarters is always important, man, to every single game, especially with games like this that really matter with a lot on the line. You know what I'm saying? The teams that just finish quarters are usually really do a good job and come out on top in the end. So let's see what happens with two teams, man. Got 30 seconds left in the third, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, for sure, man. So Mike, on your let's just say like on teams you've been on successful teams that you've been in on the past, what was one common thing, in the identity of those teams that you think allowed y'all to be successful?
Man, just play for each other. Again, like that's easier said than done. But, we pass the ball to one another. We screen for one another. We talk to one another. You know what I mean? When guys wasn't shooting the ball well or they blew an assignment or wasn't in their spacing, we went over there and helped guys out. All those little things really play a big part into the games like that because nobody's going to question, your heart, your determination, or your will to win because that's what's gotten you there up to this point so far. But when you lock in on some of those little things, man, they play big dividends, towards the end of the game.
And Alec, what did you see on your championship team? What do you think? What was one thing that stood out to you in regards to y'all team identity?
And everything was understood. You know what I mean? Like it was the job, the mission, what it took to get there. Coach attitude. Job of being transparent and honest about this is what it takes. This is what championship looks like in my experience and his experience of, learning under Obradovic, winning championships on his own. Like this is the recipe for success. This is what it takes. And the everyday standard that was set was something that I'm going to I take with me everywhere I go. And I try to emulate that. And I try to, use that in my leadership style to bring the teams that I'm on to that level. And like the everyday mentality, like we just had a bunch of everyday guys. I love that term of being an everyday guy. Like every day was understood. Everybody knew what their role was, what it meant in terms of how it fit into the team, what we were going to do to win a championship, and it carried throughout even the bad times throughout the season. Even if you lost a couple, nobody wavered. Throughout those times where maybe you didn't think you weren't playing well. We didn't reinvent the wheel ever. We just stuck to it, and eventually it paid dividends for us.
Nah, that's what's up, man. That's definitely what's up, man. And it looks like we got a couple unsportsmanlike fouls, but it looks like we're about to get back to play here with 33 seconds left. And it's Real Madrid's ball as they try to extend their 2-point lead here. But it looks like Efes is if they get the rebound, they'll have another possession. But we got a cheap foul from Elijah Bryant. Foul he doesn't really like, man. It's funny, man. As a guard, pressuring the ball, like, even when you touch him, like, just a little ticky-tack foul. Like, technically it's a foul, but, we kind of hate those little touch fouls, especially so far from the basket. But you definitely got to be careful in these situations, man. Don't want to give up no cheap ones. Looks like, it's out of bounds. Going back to Efes, 12 seconds left. Yeah, he just lost that.
See if FS can tie the score and go into the fourth quarter even, or they're going to be down 2, one or the other.
Yeah, man. I put the ball in Shane's hand, man, and let him get into the paint and make something happen, man.
Either him or Misic, one of the two. Can't go wrong.
Yeah. You can't. There you go. Go on, spread it out. High screen and roll. Let him get downhill.
Yep. Got the ISO you want.
Good move.
There you go.
You got foul. Almost. Right off the rim.
I know that's tough for Poirier, man. That's tough to stay in front of those guards like Shane Larkin, who's real shifty with the ball and super unpredictable, man. You don't know what he's going to do. You don't know if he's going to raise and pull, or just like right now, he's going to beat you off the dribble. So that's a tough matchup for a big.
Yeah, especially when he's coming downhill like that, man. It's it's one thing if y'all both at a standstill. It's still a tough cover, but when he coming downhill, like now you know that you really got to react. You know what I mean, at a faster pace. But I mean, he played solid, and Shane missed the first free throw, so missed them both.
Hey, missed both.
Tough.
Looks like them legs. Looks like them legs is heavy.
Hey,
listen,
man,
I mean, he played like 35, 36 minutes in the semifinal game. I mean, I know they had a day or almost more than a day to recover, but hey, that plays an effect as well. So, we try to see if we can get his legs back underneath him and finish the fourth quarter strong.
Yeah, for sure, man. But that is the end of the third quarter, man. It's winning time. We got 10 minutes left in this EuroLeague season.
Ooh, hey.
It's gonna be it's gonna come down to the wire, man. It's this is where this is for all the marbles. But I want to bring your attention to there's a new game available from EuroLeague. Let's see what the players think.
Okay, now I got it. Okay.
The game in the metaverse, I would include like a pop-a shot, like 2 baskets.
Guys, a chance to go back on your predictions, man. If y'all want to go switch sides, you know what I mean, and hop over to the Real Madrid side, now's your chance. You know what I mean?
I'm sticking. I don't know. I'm sticking with my gun, staying down like 4 flat tires, man. Like I'm staying with FS.
Staying consistent.
Listen, they're only down 2. They're right there. I mean, there's no need to reinvent the wheel. Just stick to the script and hey, live with the results at the end, man. This is what it's about.
Yeah, for sure, man. And let's show some love to Real Madrid, man. Playing so well without a point guard, with Nigel getting hurt last game, and especially playing against such a guard-heavy team, man. I mean, they've been playing extremely well today.
Yeah, but Madrid has championship DNA. You know what I'm saying? One guy goes down, somebody else steps up. Sergio Llull, he can handle the ball. Koscielny can handle the ball. So they got guys that can facilitate and get them in offense. And you can kind of see that, they're nursing a 2-point lead right now, but they've been doing a good job, like you said, of handling the ball and also taking care of the ball as well, not turning it over as much.
For sure. They definitely been doing a good job of that, over the course of this game. And that was, obviously that was just one thing that, was one of the big stories was, them playing without Nigel. But I think up to this point, I mean, they only got, like you said, they've been taking care of the ball. They only got 5 turnovers, in this game, which is a coach's dream, man. If you're able to take care of the ball like this, shorthanded or not, man, you're definitely putting your team into a good situation or a good position to win the game. So hopefully they continue that. But Big Eddie got 4 fouls now. With 9
that's
minutes
crucial
left.
right there. That's crucial.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, Poirier is just as solid. He doesn't have the size, but he does a really good job as well. So in these type of moments, man, I know you don't want to foul out, but I mean, if it happens, man, be a good teammate for the bench and trust that your teammate can finish the job off for you.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's tough.
That's a tough bucket. Mises gives them the lead. Efes got the lead now, 42-43.
Oh, man. Yeah. There we go.
42.
The defending champs got the lead. Let's see what they can do.
Yeah. Now we're going back the other way. Alec, is it heat check time or not? You chilling right now? You message.
And I'd say he's the only one that he might deserve it because if you look at the scope of this game, like 43-42 in the fourth quarter, he's on fire by the standard of how this game's going. So he might deserve a little heat check time.
Okay.
Yeah, nah, you got 20 points in this game, and the big steal with in the finish by Chris Singleton. But man, Efes is they definitely got the momentum right now. The Real's gonna have to get in the paint. It's a good hustle by
there
Dak.
goes another offensive rebound. You know,
Mm-hmm.
man, somebody got to get dirty, man. Keep these guys off the glass, because second chance points and putbacks and dagger threes or getting back to the free throw line, that just destroys your defense and your morale when you playing so tough and locked in.
Yeah, nah, for sure, man. It's well, Mike, man, how does it feel? You know, being a former player and maybe seeing some of the players like you played against back in the day, and even coaches that you faced and all this other, seeing so many familiar faces. How does it feel? Watching this all unfold, man. Now that you're on the other side of
Man,
basketball.
I feel right at home, man, watching all this. I mean, this is my foundation. This is, everything I worked hard for. So to see these players, man, it's like I know the feeling. I mean, Alec could say that as well. I mean, when you put in the hard work and you sacrifice for the common goal of for your team, man, it's a beautiful feeling, especially when you come out on top. So I feel right at home, man. Watching this stuff is a good feeling. Hopefully, next year I can get to, a Final Four and, watch it live next time.
Yeah, nah, for sure, man. As Tibor hitting a big jumper, man, 44, 47.
Yeah, you see Lasso right now, like, hey, got to pull in Lure right now. I gotta go with my trusted soldiers right now and just lay it all out on the line, even if I gotta play them the rest of the 7 minutes. Use the timeouts wisely, but man, that's what I'm going down with.
Right. Yeah. So, Alec, what lineup of Real Madrid would you use to ride out the rest of this game?
Yeah, you'd almost want to go like right now. You can see they kind of went away from their big lineup. They got Poirier and then almost like four guards with Deck being their four. You almost want to see them go back with Yabusele, go back with Yule, or go back with some offensive firepower here to see if you can get yourself going, because right now Efes has the momentum, and if you can't get anything going on offense, it might be time to switch it up. But we'll see what Coach Lasso we'll see what he sees and what he sticks with here.
Right. Yeah, man. It's these are tough decisions as a coach, man. But this is what you get paid for, man. You gotta adjust and put the right lineups in to to get your team out of situations, man. It's then when you have so many talented players.
Yeah, and that's a choice for Lazo. You know what I'm saying? What do you do? Do you put your best five out on there, or is it offense? Is it defense? Whatever it is, but right now, like, I got to go with the guys that's gotten me there, and I'm just going to ride it out, man. Succeed or fail.
Nah, for sure, man. Definitely got to ride it out. But yeah, I would probably look to get Yabusele in the game for sure. Get him back in there, and and then obviously get Tavares back in as the time gets down a little bit. Don't want him getting off a costly foul or a little cheap foul at this point, but Sergio's getting back to the free throw line, 44, 47, 6.5 left. But well, man, I think it's always interesting. It's always interesting, man, as the game goes down to the wire, and the offensive plays start to get a little more simple, and it just gets into that high pick and roll, man. I think in that situation, man, I think Efes definitely will have an edge when it comes down to just relying on a couple players to go out and make plays, but it's going, as Yabusele's coming back in, man. I think it's gonna be interesting. Man,
the game gets slower. It almost seems like the game gets a little bit slower as the fourth quarter of these games comes down to it. I think that's where teams really show like how good they are. Is they're not sped up at the end of games. You're going to see Larkin, you're going to see Misic, you're going to see the guys in Madrid. Like they're going to wait and be patient for the mismatch they want, and then they're going to go at it. They're not going to rush. They're going to play at their pace.
For sure, and that was a huge block by Poirier on the other end.
Yes, it was.
reward the big fella on the back end of that down with the trail pass as he got the blocking foul on Chris Singleton, man. But yeah, that was a heck of a block.
Yeah. And that's like what I said before. Like, again, you know, Poirier, man, he can come in and give the same present that Tavares does as well, you know, especially with the rim protection, challenging and changing shots at the rim. Just came up with a big play right there, and that could be a momentum change right there for Madrid. So let's see what they do.
Yeah, nah, for sure, man. And I think, you know, another thing that's, you know, that's great, you know, for Real Madrid is the fact that, you know, their bigs are capable of hitting free throws too, especially down the stretch as a Poirier just misses that one. But, you know, Tavares has hit 3 out of 4. Poirier just split those. But I mean, I think free throw shooting, especially, I mean, over the course of the whole game, especially down the stretch, is going to be huge. And sealing off these possessions with rebounds as Plyce gets the
Plyce on
gets
the glass
back there. Gets that putback, man. Got to seal possessions off. Got to seal these possessions
you
off.
Got to.
Let's see. He serves so good. He's so patient on that pick and roll. Once he gets you on his back, that's exactly what he wants. He try to get back to
do
it.
a better job of just trying to, you know, get off
Right
the
over,
body
right?
and try to square that ball back up. Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's easy. Again, it's always easier said than done. Oh, that's a good pull right there.
There you go, right there.
There you go. Oh, man.
But you got to think, like, within the last minute, Shane had to fight over, like, 3 pick and rolls, you know what I mean? And he kind of died on that last one and gave up the 3.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not easy, man, especially when, you know, you're that size and you're getting hit, you know, by a guy like Plyce. You know, that's going to wear on you a little bit.
For sure, man. And as I just saw right there,
24
you know,
second shot
Micic
clock
was isolating. And we know, you know, Micic hit that last jumper against Olympiacos on the isolation. And Alec, since you said, you know, obviously you guys switch a lot. What's your mentality in guarding a player like Micic on a switch when he's trying to size you up? What's your mentality?
Yeah, I think the player on him, I think that is going to be subconsciously, that's going to tell him, like, okay, like, I got to settle for a shot, because if I drive, there's 4 guys waiting. There's 4 guys waiting for me.
Right.
So you almost are trying to make him settle for that tough contested 3 that you can. I know that kind of philosophy applies all over in the NBA, it applies in Europe and all levels of basketball. Is a tough contested shot is something that you're going for. You're going to live with that every single time on a switch.
Yeah,
for
well,
sure.
Good job though to Micic though, man. He patiently waited for the switch with Vincentkov. He got the matchup that he wanted. You know what I'm saying? Elevated over, got a good look, and you know, big time players make big time plays, man. That's the reason why you know, he's one of the best. And like you said, he's in his home backyard, so he's getting a little bit of home cooking right now with those rims. So let's see if he can pull this one out as well.
Yeah. The flip side of it too, when you're a guard and you get that switch, even though you probably could pull the same move on a guard on someone that you didn't need to get a switch for, knowing that you got the switch and got the matchup that you want gives you that extra, like, mental confidence, I think, in pulling that move, knowing that you're going to get the shot off, and it's just make or miss at that point. I think as a guard, as long as you get the switch, even though everybody can say, oh, it was a tough shot, he played great defense, I think mentally, from a guard standpoint, that's just in their mind. As long as they get the matchup they want, they believe that makes their percentage way better.
Come on, Fernandez. You got to close out on that, big fella. Can't go for that pump fake.
Man, T-Boy's playing well, man, and it's perfect time to check in on our player head-to-head matchup. As T-Boy's had a couple buckets as of late, as we're under 4 minutes here. T-Boy has 13 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 blocks, and Tavares still at 13 and 11. But it's getting closer to that time. 51-50, 3.5 left, man. We get a little more comfortable on this couch here, man. This is winning time, man. And I see Micic at a different pace with the live.
Man, they gotta do something with Poirier. They're gonna have to get in some help. They can't keep switching Poirier on the Micic like this. They're gonna have to run another defender at him, make him get a ball up, pick the ball up. But the last like 2-3 possessions, we just see Poirier just switches on Micic, and he's just taking his time getting whatever he wants. Either he's going to the pull-up, he's getting downhill. He just dished off the Plyce for the jumper. Now he just dished off the Plyce for the alley-oop. Lazo's going to have to come up with something in these last 3 minutes, man.
Yeah, I mean, and this is where I think the game is kind of like a mind twister, you know what I mean? Because it's like, man, okay, we're getting killed on the switches, so do I go small here? Like, do I stay big? Like, you know, as a coach, you know, obviously he's probably been in this situation more times than I could probably even count. But I mean, this is where, you know, you gotta adjust and make some decisions, man. And
and at this point, man, I ain't gonna even lie. If I'm in this huddle, I'm asking for help. If we're gonna stay with that switch, I'm asking for help. I have no problem, no shame into asking my teammates and my brothers for help. You know what I mean? If not, they're just gonna have to come up with some kind of different coverage, because it looks like if they're gonna stick with that switch and leaving that 5 on Micic or Larkin, oh man, I mean, that's just gonna FS gonna have a lot of advantages with that.
Yeah. Nah, for sure. This is tough, man. So, Alec, what are you what are you doing coming back down here if you Real Madrid?
The basketball nerd in me right now is like just in heaven watching like the potential, you know, back and forth that's going on. Like I got 100 different scenarios running into how I would play everything going on the stretch. But honestly, like Madrid at this point, you're in a 3-point game in the fourth quarter with the reigning champ Efes in a season that
defense.
Not many people thought you would even be close to this. Like this, you know, you're right. You know, you're right where you need to be, right where you want to be, so to speak. I mean, you're right there at the end of the game. I think you just rely on guys like Yule and these guys to make plays, and you live with the result. I mean, this is not anything that they're not used to. All these guys have had the experience of being in this moment, and you got to rely on them and hope that they make the same amount of plays that Efes is making on the other end.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. And big tray ball. Big tray ball tied up. Gabriel Deck, the big tray ball, 53-53, 2.5.
Just like Alex just said, here we go, man. Like, it's a game of chess right now, man. Game of chess, mind games, different little tactic, different little strategies.
For sure, man. That was a big 3-ball, man. And you know, and I really want to point out Yabusele's hustle on 2 plays before, man, going for that offensive rebound. Plyce had it, and then he was able to knock the ball out of Plyce and off of his leg, you know, to give Real Madrid another possession, man. That's you know, it's those second and third effort plays, man, that really you know, affect winning, especially down the stretch.
Right, and if Madrid pulled this final off, it'll be because of their rebound. And even the game against Barcelona, they came up with some big offensive rebounds, you know, down the stretch that really broke the back of Barcelona. Like you said, gave them extra possession, 2-3 extra possessions, man. So that's going to be a key for them if they pull this off. Big shot by Micic.
Man, Micic, man, home cooking, baby. It's that home cooking,
that boy got ice in his veins, baby.
Come on, man. Come on, man. You know, he probably gave out about 40, 50 tickets, man, to this game, man. He's
probably. Man, I used to have at least anywhere from 12 to 15 family members with me. You know what I'm saying, to each Final Four. So that was always big and special to me, man, to have them there. Win or lose, it was a great experience, you know, in itself, especially for my family to take in.
Nah, for sure, man. Is Fabian Soares at the free throw line, knocks the first one down. And we got 1 minute and 51 seconds left, man. This game's coming all the way down.
To the
missing
wire.
Another free throw, man. Missing free throws. You got to have these.
And look, guess what happens? Man. Tavares on the glass again, Plyce, man, and the inability to keep him off the glass. Madrid is about to get another possession, another crack at it.
It's huge, man. Size.
Best thing you can do when you don't have the guard play you want is to create extra possessions. Best thing you can do, give yourself as many possessions as possible.
Yes, sir.
For sure. For sure, man. Come on, sir. It's hero ball time. Good pass. Good pass. He got fouled.
Yep. See, a big fella can knock these two down, tie the ball game up.
Yeah, no, that'll be huge for them.
Man, this thing is coming down to the wire. You know what I mean? It's like you're putting yourself right into these moments as well, man. Because I had a couple little thrillers myself. My first 2 EuroLeague titles came by 2 points, man. That could have went either way. So it's like we're getting right down to the nitty gritty. So I know how this can go, man.
That's why, like, every free throw, everything matters. You know what I mean?
It all do,
especially down the end.
Everything matters, especially in a 40-minute game, man. That jump ball is crucial. You know what I mean? Like, just winning that first possession to set the tone offensively for yourself like that is critical. So, like, everything matters, man, especially in a 40-minute game.
Man, as Tavares splits the free throws, we got a 1-point game, minute and a half left. Adam Honga's hounding Micic up here up top, and let's see if they can get enough space there. See Shane got a little deeper in that corner. There he goes. He gets open.
There we go. Hey, way to move on penetration. That's good shot.
Yeah, it's all right. That's a good offensive rebound, man. Offensive rebounds, like we was talking about. Oh my goodness!
There's another offensive tip in.
Another tip by T-Board, man. T-Board taking over this fourth quarter. Oh, man. And we got a quick replay of that T-Board dunk, man. As he's been taking over this fourth quarter here.
Yeah.
But
I like it. Set the screen, get off your spot quick. Ask for the ball up top, big fella.
Yeah. Yes, sir. It's man, T-Board's been playing, man. And I think, Alec, you said it at the beginning of the game, man, just the you were looking at the 4-man matchup, but I think, the focus of this game was definitely the bigs were going to be the X factors in this particular game, man. And T-Board's been getting it done here in the fourth quarter. But I mean, even Tavares, he changed the shot, for T-Board to even get that tip in, man. Both bigs are changing this game around for both teams. But this has been a great matchup, man. I think semifinals and then the finals, you couldn't really ask for better games, man. They've just been, they've been electric.
Not at all.
They're great.
Not at all. Even with the low scoring too, I know.
Go ahead.
I was saying, even with the lower scoring games too, like, you can't be mad at that at all. Like, this is an absolute slugfest that you're seeing. Two teams just they're pouring it out there right now. They're going to be able to win or lose. Whoever loses obviously is going to be monumentally disappointed in themselves. But man, the effort has been there. The plays have been there. Both teams have made plays in this fourth quarter. And this one minute left seems like it's gonna almost seems like the end of these games take forever.
For sure. Oh, that's a big block by Dunston. Big block by Dunston, man. Way to rotate.
Yeah,
rotate.
Mike Batiste Jr.
If you hey man, it's just great, man, to lay down a platform, man, and let other guys follow, man. That's beautiful, man.
Yeah,
let's
see
what
happens. I'm telling you, Mike Batiste Jr.
Shot clock.
That's a big play, sir.
Drive. Yep.
That is a big play for Serge to get that layup there. We got a 1-point game with 44 seconds left.
And up until then, Bryant was really playing some good defense on Lowell. You know what I mean? He just got to try to square the ball up as fast as possible and not try to give up that angle to the basket. But then again, your help shot defense should be coming over for some kind of team defense. Looks like FS has just gotten to their rotations too late, and Lowell got the layup.
Yeah, I feel like in the fourth quarter, guys tend to hug a little more, man. You know what I mean? And it's the help side was definitely late on that last play. But Meech's got another switch on Yabusele.
Uh-oh.
Come on, sit down, big fella. Sit down, big fella. He took the foul. Okay.
I think they have one to give. Do they have one to give?
Yeah, Madrid's in an advantage right now. They have fouls to give.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Woo, this is
27 seconds
nerve-wracking
left.
right now. Like, I'm sorry, man. This is so nerve-wracking right now. Like, again, just like this leading up from the semifinal games until now, I mean, this has been excellent, man. I couldn't ask for a better Final Four right now.
Nah, definitely not, man. We got 27 seconds left, 14 on the shot clock. Real Madrid down 1, and this Efes's ball. So, man, I think I think you definitely, I would definitely try to get another switch. I can see them playing for another switch for Misic or Larkin, but I like this lineup that Efes has, man. Because you got shooters, you got guys that can shoot the ball.
Here we go.
And Bryant. Let's see if he gets into the paint here.
Here goes another switch. We got Larkin against Yabusele.
Shane took the foul on the floor.
Took the foul on the floor.
Took the foul on the floor. 17 seconds left.
But did you see you see how Lewis is being active off the ball, just trying to stunt,
right?
Give Larkin, just trying to make him indecisive. Like that's what I mean. Like you just can't leave these bigs on the island. Like your teammate's going to try to, show the illusion of help as many times as he can. So you're just not sitting up there getting comfortable with the rock.
Yep. No, I agree. See what kind of action they run. They're gonna go with the same play here.
Like if I'm Madrid, just stay solid. 14 seconds, it's a 3-second differential. Just be solid right here. And if a shot goes up, got to get that rebound.
Yeah. Misic finds Shane in the corner again. Barely missed it.
What we got?
It's game. That's game.
That's over
Efes
with.
Dang.
Wow.
Efes wins 58-57. Back-to-back champs.
Man.
Wow.
Hey. Wow.
Man, what a fight.
What a game.
What a game. Fight.
Hey, man, hats off to FS, man, because to win back-to-back, I feel like that's the only thing I have not done in my career. It's the hardest thing to do to get back to that hurdle and to repeat again.
Right.
I saw it actually happen. This is my third time seeing it happen. I saw it happen with Maccabi early in my career. I saw with Olympiacos late in my career. Now after my career, you're seeing it again. So, good job to FS, man. They deserve it.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. And I know they're just thrilled, overcome with emotion. I mean, Misic able to win it in his country. I mean, this is crazy, man. And Efes is your 2022 EuroLeague champion, man. And
man, that's tough,
got a
man.
nice little champion graphic.
Tough.
Yeah, man. And this is the final. The winner of the Final Four, Anadolu Efes, has done it back-to-back times, man. And
I'm not going to even lie, man. I would rather lose a semifinal than the final, man. This is just heartbreaking.
Yeah?
Preach it.
Man. This is just heartbreaking, man. Like, you worked so hard to get to that, and to lose by one. Oh, man, I feel for those guys, man. But that's the beauty of basketball, man. You're going to have heartbreak, and I always tell guys, man, joy wouldn't feel so good if it wasn't for pain. And it's just going to make these guys better players in the end. It's going to make Laszlo a better coach in the end. So this is not the last we're going to see in Madrid. Like Alex said, these guys are up in age, but they're going to find a way to get back to this platform, and they're going to do that through the work. So we'll see what happens next year.
Yo, Alec, after y'all won, what were the moments like after that? Obviously, there was a locker room celebration, but what did y'all do after that? Right after that?
And man, so it was amazing because the arena, everything, you got the confetti. I mean, I almost remember the smell. Like I remember the smell of everything after it all happened, after we won. I remember celebrating with the teammates. You had, the champagne was popping in the locker room. You were drenched in whatever. I mean, it was just like you remember vividly every single moment of it. But it was funny because when we won it here in where I'm playing now in Vitoria. And if you know anything about here and in Spain, at night, there's nothing open. Nothing.
Oh,
so
man.
I remember like we left the arena And we're like, what are we supposed to do? Like, what are we doing now? And like they had this one place stay open late for us, and we ate, we like sat around, and we're like, all right, like, what do we do now? Like, we just literally went back to the hotel, like hotel bar, and just like sat around in the lobby. Like there was just nothing, you know, it was almost like the most anticlimactic championship ever. But like, you know, I still, you know, I wouldn't still appreciated every little moment of it. And my question, I got a question for Mike. So having won multiple titles, what was the difference in feeling winning that first one? I know nobody, you know, you can't ever equate the feeling of the first one, but the first to the second, like after winning that second one, like these guys here just won their second one. Like is it a different feeling? Like what's kind of the feeling there?
Yeah, it was totally a different feeling because it was a different task, even though we was like on the same platform that we've been previous before, like in the 2007 season. This was 2009. And, you know, our semifinal against Olympiacos, you know, it's our greatest rivalry. It's way more pressure. You know, these two teams like meet, man, it's a great game to watch, number one, but the pressure in itself to win is greater than anything else. And, you know, winning that second EuroLeague title was a beauty to us. Again, you know, the roster that we had of myself, Dimitridis, Spanuli, Jeshka, Vicious, Shasari, Fosi, Pekovic. I mean, the list goes on and on. Some people say that's the greatest team of all time in European history. I'll let everybody else decide all about that. But, you know, just to be, you know, to go from 2007 and winning in your backyard in Athens to now we go to Berlin to win it in 2009. The gauntlet that you had to get to that point was tough. And at that point, you know, again, the European basketball, the landscape of it was really transitioning at that time as well. And now you see,
hey guys,
now the year
Mike,
2022.
Mike, not to cut you off, we gotta cut down to the floor. Sorry to cut you off there, but we gotta cut down to the floor.
Good.
We got Dane.
Oh yeah, baby! 4 people on the Watchalong. How about this? What up, Alex? What up, Mike? How we doing? Crazy scenes here from Stark Arena. I think there might be a party going on tonight on the blue side of Turkey. What a night it was. What a second half it was from this team. Who said Efes couldn't play defense? What was that second half all about? Ottoman's known for gunslinging up and down. Best scorers in the league, and they shut down Real Madrid. They do it with defense. They go back-to-back here in Belgrade. What amazing scenes, guys. Hey, I'm sure you guys talked about him all second half, all game long. Tibor Place, MVP. Are you kidding me? Who would have thought Tibor Place would have stepped up? You knew somebody was going to have to do it. That wasn't Misic. That wasn't Larkin. And the big man in the big moment, stepping up big time. My goodness. Guys, this is such a scene right here. I'm gonna try to get well, they got the trophy presentation, so they've got better things to do than talk to me right now. But I'll tell you what, I'm gonna try my best to give my Watchalong crew an interview there. So if you guys just stick around, I'll try to deliver.
All right, appreciate it.
All right.
Yeah, but you can go finish your point. Sorry about that, Mike.
Oh, but no, it's just, you know, each one has a different story. Like 2007, man, we was a well-oiled machine. We really played well from the start of the season to the end of the year. That barely happens in any kind of team sport to play consistently at a high level. 2009, we didn't start well, but we figured it out because, you know, we made some new additions to the team, and we just, you know, took us a while to figure each other out. And we accomplished that task. And in 2011, you know, we beat Maccabi in Barcelona. It was a different feeling as well. But just like Alex said, man, the celebration is off the hook, man. I'm looking for the biggest champagne bottle to shake up and pop and spill and give everybody a champagne shower. I'm not wearing no goggles, man. I'm gonna let the champagne burn. So like it's just a great feeling to have, because when you complete like a difficult task like that, and Alec can, you know, he can, you know, attest to this as well. It's just the greatest exhale, man. I'm not gonna lie, because you've been through a gauntlet, you've been through practice, you battled injuries, You've been, challenged during the game, not shooting the ball well, being down 10, 20 points, whatever, trying to find ways to come back and win. You go through this up and down cycle throughout the year, and to come out, as the number one team in the end, man, it is the greatest exhale, man.
I can imagine, man, and even looking to Efes, man, having won last year and then starting off the season, the way that they did this year, I think they started off with like 0-5, and just being able to fight through all the ups and downs that they've had, and finally getting into the playoffs, and I've been saying it all Watchalong long, man. The whole season I was like, if Efes makes it into the playoffs, that is not a team you want to see. Nobody wants to see Efes if they sneak into the playoffs.
It's kind of similar to when Fenerbahce won in 2017. Like, they was banged up throughout the year, and then they got healthy at the right time, got into the playoffs. They went near swept Panathinaikos, and then they just rolled that momentum all the way to the Final Four and won the Final Four in Istanbul. So, man, the FS did a really good job. Again, back-to-back titles is great. But all I know right now, if I'm FS with all those expiring contracts, I'm trying to get as many people signed so we can try to make another run at this, because nobody's never done 3 in a row. So I think that's the goal for those guys right now. Try to take care of those expiring contracts, get Larkin and Misic, all those guys lined up. Try to get as many new guys from this championship team back in the fold, and try to go for a three-peat, man. I'd love to see it.
Yeah, that would be historic. That would be so super dope, man. But in this game, this basketball business, it's tough, man. It's tough, man. It's definitely a difficult thing, man, to keep guys together. But I mean, as we see, keeping that core together, if they can keep that core together, it'll definitely bode well for them to do that, just heading forward, man. But Alec, man, so what is so in your current season right now, man, what's the focus here heading on down the stretch, man? Like, where are you at, like, mentally, you know what I'm saying, with as this long season draws on?
And this is the best time of the year, right? Like, you got our ACB playoffs have yet to start yet. They'll start next week. And now we got 2 teams in Madrid and Barca who didn't achieve what they wanted to achieve in the Final Four. So they're coming hungry. They're coming ready for when the playoffs start. So we're going to have a super – we played Valencia in the first round, so we're going to have a super tough road to get there. But it's very doable for us. I think, our season has been so chaotic with a coaching change. I missed probably 60% of it with a little knee surgery. I mean, to come to this point now, we have everybody on our team locked in and ready for these playoffs. I mean, it's this time of year. It's not about necessarily who's playing their best basketball. It's about who can stay in the moment, who can stay here and not in summer vacation. You know what I mean? Like, whose mind on your team right now can stay, right here, right in practice every day, in the games coming up. Like, who can stay focused on the job at hand? Because if you let that mind wander into the future, and you're sipping on whatever margaritas poolside and things like that, if you start thinking about that, those teams, those are the guys that get bounced. Those are the guys that get bounced, and you don't see the success you want to see.
Yo, I was gonna ask too, what is from this EuroLeague season, what has been your favorite moment?
Man, favorite moment. Personally, or just in general across the
personally, what was your favorite EuroLeague moment this year for you? If anything sticks out.
Wow, we had like that whole COVID spell in January where we had like half our team, so we missed however many games, right? And they put it all in the month of March. So I think we had 15 or 14 games in the month of March. And everybody looked at that month like, oh my God, we're playing every other day. We're traveling a lot, whatever. It ended up being, I think, our best month as a team because we got in such like a rhythm and we were playing every other day with ACB, EuroLeague, and all that. And I think, that just that month, I think in general, that month of March when we had so many games stacked up for us to kind of hit a little bit of a stride there. And it helped our team. And that was kind of the moment our team, myself and everybody realized like, okay, like we do have some potential here. Like when we have everybody on the court, playing how it's supposed to look like. I think that was kind of our struggle the whole season, was we never got to that point yet. It took forever to us to get to that point. And when we got there in that month of March, amidst all the games and all the traveling and stuff like that, that was probably my favorite, other than my first game back, after missing missing more than half the season with a knee injury. That was those two moments, I guess, collectively are what stick to my mind.
Right. Nah, for sure, man. And Mike, man, I wanted to ask you this question, because obviously, you kind of come from a different generation, but I remember in my career, man, towards the second half of my career, I really started to enjoy practice. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I started to love practice, and, it just changed like my love for the game, as opposed to when you first come over from the States, you're like, we practice twice a day and all this other stuff. It's just like a different mentality. What were your thoughts about, practice, and how did you enjoy the practices and things like that, especially just having just having so much talent day in and day out?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm not going to even lie. I love practice as well. I mean, they were difficult at times because your mind and your body will tell you one thing. But at the end of the day, like I said, man, I had two of the greatest coaches at one time. And every day in practice, we stepped on that floor to get better. We did not play around. If we did, we probably was running sprints. So, walking on that floor, we were serious. What we had to work on. If it was high ball screen defense, we locked in on that. If it was, trapping the ball out the high pick and roll, and we had to cover our rotations, we took every rep seriously. And I think that's what spilled out into championship ball, years over years of going to 5 Final Fours. You winning so many Greek league titles. We just played with a level of championship consistency every single night. But that all started with the will to work every single day in practice when there's no fans and no cameras inside. We did all the dirty work, behind the scenes.
Yeah, what was the craziest practice experience you've had? It was like a crazy practice, if you can remember.
I can remember Obradovic again, like literally setting, me and Pekovic against each other, Spanuli, Dimitrievich, like just to try to provocate some kind of energy from some of us, you know what I mean? Because I remember 2008, we was in the top 16 and we lost our first 3 games, and it was all bad. Like, we really put ourselves in a very, very bad position, but we had the support from the fans. But we also had to try to find a way to push one another and to provocate some kind of energy, you know what I mean? And so that's what we took out of those practices. Like, even now, I tell people about the European style. Yes, it's tough to practice twice a day, but to get those many reps in a day is like, I felt like you were just gaining advantage over your competition, and you was that much sharper, once the game started. So, once I bought into the lifestyle, the practice up over there in Europe, I became a far better player, and so did my teammates as well.
Yeah, I think it's definitely, man, it's definitely important, man, to embrace. I mean, you're gonna practice more than you play, especially in Europe. So I mean, it's definitely important to embrace that part of the experience and of your career. Like, you had any crazy practices or any crazy experiences?
I mean, I don't know if you guys know about Dusko Ivanovic or no. That's who I played for all last year, and then for the preseason of this year. But we we used to start preseason, right? And we wouldn't touch a ball. We would go outside and we would start running around the park in the trees outside. And I'm not kidding. This would be like, I'm talking miles and miles of just running, like on these outdoor trails, like outside. And we're just, the whole time you're just sitting to yourself like, all right, like, when's the basketball coming? Like, when's like the actual part that we're here to do? It was like, it was almost like surreal. We spent like a week running like around trees outside, and it just seemed like man, like, what year is this? Like what year are we living in right now? And we would have 2-day practices. Yeah, we would have 2-day practices throughout the year, and in the morning we wouldn't touch a ball. It would literally be running, lifting weights, agilities, and all of that. And it would obviously would frustrate guys, because like, who wants to come to practice and not have a ball in your hand? But at the same time, like, it made me realize like what being in good shape meant. Like, and I thought in seasons past, like, all right, yeah, I'm in good shape, I'm ready to play. But like, it wasn't until last season when I really realized, all right, this is like the body weight I need to play at to be the most in shape I can be. This is the kind of conditioning I need. And like, now I can take that and I can do it in a different way. I don't need to be running around trees anymore, obviously, but I can take that information I learned from it and I can adapt it to how I want.
Right. And that made you mentally tougher in the end. I bet you it did. You know what I mean? Because that's all that they do. They challenge you mentally sometimes. Like I've been in sessions where we don't have a ball and we're just out there on the court just setting screen, doing imaginary ball screens and diving to the rim without a ball. And that's very frustrating at times. Like Alex said, you want a basketball. That's what you're here for. But when they break stuff down to the nitty gritty, man, and they really try to challenge you in different ways. But the way these coaches challenge you mentally over here in Europe goes a big way when you accept that challenge and you conquer that challenge. And just like Alex done in 2019, and I've done 3 times of my career, when you get to that platform again, when you reach that level, you win it. It is the greatest feeling in the world. And just like you see FS, all the confetti, all that stuff is coming down. You just soak all that stuff in, man, and embrace it all because there's a lot of friends that you have in this profession, and they would never get to this point. You know what I mean? So just like, and you're very lucky because it's a flip of a coin. Like I went to 5 Final Fours. It could be 0. You know what I mean? I've won 3 EuroLeague titles. It could be 0. So, just to process all that stuff when you win it, it's just a great feeling to have. And it's a memory that's going to last a lifetime, man. Nobody can take that away from you.
No, definitely not, man. And, shouts out to Efes, man. And shouts out to y'all too, man. I really appreciate y'all tapping into the Watchalong, man. It's been great. I appreciate y'all time, man, sitting down, chopping it up, hearing the stories, hearing the insight, watching this championship game with y'all, man. So I just really want to thank you both, man, for coming out and, being a part of the Watchalong.
Man, anytime, brother.
Thank you.
Anytime. I'm always here, man. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you guys. Thank you, Anthony, and thank you, Mike, for sharing this time with us. I can't wait to talk to our guy, Tudis, about this, man. He's gonna love it. I appreciate it. Keep up the good work, man.
Will do, brother.
For
you
sure,
too,
man.
If you need anything, any kind of advice, man, just you know where to find me, man. Just hit me up.
Yeah, man. And all the fans back home, please. All the fans back home, please like and subscribe to all the EuroLeague social channels, YouTube. You guys want to go watch this episode on playback, you can go back to the EuroLeague YouTube channel. But that is it for the 21-22 EuroLeague season. It's been great having you guys all season long, every round for the watch along, man. It's been special, man. It's been a pleasure. I enjoyed every comment, the good, the bad, the ugly, everything. Thanks for riding along with me through this whole time. And, we hope to see you guys next year. But shout out to Efes, and we hope all of y'all stay safe. And for the last time on this season, we're out.
All right. One love.